Kishore sir, please unmute.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome, everyone, to this wonderful event. I hope you are enjoying business opportunities at our Plastic World exhibition. Along with exhibition, uh, we have got this fantastic knowledge sharing sessions and the seminars to upskill and gain knowledge and understand what are the latest technologies going on around the world. As the world is changing, and the customers are more demanding and more technologies are coming for cost effective solutions. There is one very nice segment that is ultrasonic technology. The ultrasonic solutions give us answers to several challenges that come in our manufacturing. And we have got a very recognized and a very old reputed company, Roop Ultrasonics. It is more than a 40-year-old company in ultrasonic, and our APMA association is fortunate to associate with them for today's seminar. Just to introduce a few words, our APMA, that is the All India Plastic Manufacturers Association, is a 75-year-old association having physical establishments and offices across India. We have got two independent buildings in Mumbai. We have got one independent building in NCR. We have our office in Calcutta, Chennai, Delhi, Ahmedabad. We are also fortunate to have Mr. Ashok Agarwal ji. He is the Vice President of East Zone, who will be helping us to conduct this seminar. We also have Mr. Deepak Gumbar ji from Ultrasonics, Roop Ultrasonics Limited, who is the main speaker today, who will be taking us into the fascinating world of ultrasonic machines and the salient features of the process. To just give a brief profile about Mr. Deepak Gumbar, Mr. Deepak Gumbar is an industry expert for ultrasonic equipment specializing in the packaging industry. He has been dealing with various critical applications, not limited to packaging, but also automotive interiors, exteriors, toys, etc. And as India has got this opportunity to cater to European and American markets and try to grow to the scale of China and other competitive countries. So I think this is a fantastic opportunities for all of us to venture into it. Mr. Deepak Gumbar likes discussing challenging projects with clients and handle them until the desired solution is provided. A fun and lively person, he teaches people about creativity and innovation in technology. Mr. Deepak earned his engineering and MBA degree from Mumbai University. He is a techno-commercial leader at Roop Ultrasonics Limited. He has over 2 decades of experience in plastics, packaging, and ultrasonic industry. And as I know him personally, he always wears a wonderful smile and a very fun-loving person. So we welcome you, Deepak Gumbarji, for this event and request you to please drive us into this ultrasonic fascinating world. Over to you, Deepak ji.
Thank you, Kishorji, for the wonderful introduction you have done. So, good morning, one and all. Myself, Deepak Gumbar from Roop Ultrasonic Limited. Today, I'll be covering how about the topic of ultrasonic machines, what exactly ultrasonic machines are, how they are used in plastic industry, packaging industry. So, if you are having any questions in between the sessions, you can please put it in the chat box, and we'll try to answer as many as questions towards the end of the session. So talking about plastic first. So plastics are majorly categorized into two basic segments, the thermosetting plastics and thermoplastics. So thermosetting plastic, as the name says, they take shape only once. So once they are set, you cannot change the shape again and again using ultrasonic or heat or any other technology. Coming to the other part of the plastic, that is the thermoplastic. For example, the PC, ABS, HIPS, polystyrene, different. So all these polymer families are belonging to the thermoplastics. So in these thermoplastics, we can definitely use ultrasonic to join these components and to make different shapes, welding, and different things. So coming to ultrasonic. So ultrasonic energy is basically sound waves of 20,000 hertz and above, which is transmitted to an object and perpendicularly to the object, which creates localized heat, and then the welding is taken place. So the components include is it's a basic generator that generates electricity. It's a transducer that converts this electrical energy into ultrasonic vibrations. There's a booster which amplitudes the energy, and finally there is a horn or a sonotrodes that touches the surface, and the energy is transmitted. So all these are controlled precisely using microprocessor controllers. So for detailed information, we'll be just covering the basic information. The detailed information, you can definitely visit our stall in hall number 1, screen 5, where you can get in detail information. The basic details we'll be covering in. For packaging industry specifically, ultrasonic is used for your pouch sealing, your zipper sealing, bag sealing machines, tube sealing machines. It's used as an attachment in the VFFS machine, vertical form filling machine. Then it's used also in the horizontal form filling machine, HFFS. Similarly, so basically, ultrasonic welding is an better alternative than heat, precisely speaking, because most prominently heat is used. So let me show you some live example and a video. I'm just sharing my screen. So as you can see in this video, these are your BOPP, bioaxially oriented polypropylene pouches. It's similarly, if you have seen any Haldiram packet or any other namkeen packet or a sweet packet which has a zip sealing on top of it. So all these zips are sealed to the laminated using ultrasonic. I'll just play it once again. You can see it clearly. If you see the BOPP moves continuously in this, and the ultrasonic, this is ultrasonic horn which is moving on to it. It comes and seals to it. One second. Yes, another video what we'll be showing you is so this is for welding of any components. For example, now we are showing a simple plastic bottle, water bottle, which can be sealed. So if you see, generally, if you're using blow molding or injection molding or any other type of molding methodology, wherein you are joining two different plastic parts and ultimately you want to seal them. So if you see, the base of this bottle is sealed to the entire bottle using ultrasonic. This is like it's shown the energy transferred into the welding. So some live samples I'll be showing you. Like for example, these are the bottles which you saw in the welding process. If you want to join these kind of bottles, or another example is these kind of bottles. This is a Cipla Nicotex bottle what we are welding in our machines. So if you see, the base is separate over here and the cap is separate over here. So these are welded together. Another applications of ultrasonic machines, it can be used in the saline hospitals, what we are using in the hospitals when unfortunately you shouldn't be going there much. If you go there and you see these kind of saline bottles, it's basically PP and a combination of rubber. So once the needle is inserted in the rubber part and outer is the PP and the aluminum foil is sealed. So all these applications, once they're done with heat, there is melting, inappropriate melting, there's contamination can be occurred. So hence ultrasonic is preferred in these kind of application. Similarly, if you see packaging for the fertilizers, like this is a Syngenta bottle. So in case of fertilizer chemicals, if you are sealing it with heat or any other chemicals, what happens when the person is taking it over his shoulders, and sometimes the liquid, the fertilizers fall. So there have been major accidents in rural areas where the fertilizer is falling over the skin, people are getting infections. So to overcome these, the big companies are now coming up with technology to seal the caps with ultrasonic. So once you're sealing with ultrasonic, you get consistency because it's microprocessor control. You can control every the depth of it, how much it should be sealed. It should be hermetically sealed. It could control the pressure. So all these things are taken care of in a different industry. Some more applications in the pharma industry where it comes. So these are like a one-time use bottles where you can just tear open. So the caps, again, everything in the pharma industry for all powders is again used using ultrasonic. Some more packaging. For example, if you see, this is a set wet deo, what we are doing for Marico. So all this caps, all this beautiful packaging material where you see it's in two colors. So they are injection molded separately. So once they are injection molded separately, they need to be joined. So once you see, it's joined from within. So all these different kind of applications can be done using ultrasonic. So moving forward to the next type of application, what we have the most used type of application, I would say, is the tube sealing machine, which is most common in the pharma industry, in the local your FMCG industry for your toothpaste, for your regular cream. So once again, I'm sharing my screen to show you a recent project during the pandemic when this hand sanitizers were started. So at that times, all these regular machines use heat as a sealing mechanism. So HUL wanted, because the PET bottles were difficult to get in that time, because getting PET bottles, sealing them, distributing was a challenge. So HUL wanted this to be done in their tube sealing machine, existing cream machine. So what they we introduced the ultrasonic in their existing filling machine. So over here, the hand sanitizer contains approximately 60 to 70% ethyl alcohol. So once the alcohol is there, and then you are using heat to seal that, there can be chances of fire. As we must have seen in news in cases in Palghar, there were factory that were manufacturing hand sanitizer and caught fire. So what was the reason why the packaging led to fire? So the reason was that they were using heat for sanitizers. So now if you see this section over here, you're using ultrasonic to seal the sections. So by using ultrasonic, it doesn't at all interfere with the material inside the tube. Basically, whatever is being filled inside, nothing can be interfered. So for example, when you have specific cases of medicines, specifically when you say medicine, the cancer medicines. So nowadays, a lot of cancer medicines are coming, but if you seal them using heat, what happens? The chemical properties of the material gets affected. So when in specific cases, they don't use heat, they have to use only ultrasonic. So this is a live project for HUL, and similar, if you want to have a bigger production, because people say that you want speed also in the machines. So in such cases, you can do multiple tubes at time. So if you see in this video, 5 tubes are being filled and sealed at one go. So this is the sealing portion which is happening, sealing, and then the next batch coding. So this ultrasonic is not that you have to buy a new machine. If you're having any kind of existing machine that could be having sealing or heat or any other kind of machine that's already running, what you can have is an integration of ultrasonic as an aftermarket thing as well. Once you have the machine, we can work out and just install only the ultrasonic in your existing machine if you want to do different kinds of applications. So other than these, I would say these are the kind of tubes we have been sealing till date, like different types of Lamy tubes. So Lamy tubes of maybe 50 to 70 can be easily sealed using this technology. So coming other than tubes, what other packaging material we can do is one major thing is packaging of tea bags. So if you see, if you're using many companies for tea bags are using stapler pens. So once you're using stapler pens, again, if you have kept the tea bags over a period of time, there could be a lot of problem on it, contamination of it, and especially when you're drinking these tea bags. So if you see this, a lot of companies are sealing this using ultrasonically. So if you take out any tea bag and if you see the inside of the tea bag, the inside is generally sealed using ultrasonic. Even the top of the tea bags are sealed using ultrasonic. So by doing this, you don't have any contamination in this. You don't have any stapler pins coming in this. The sealing area reduces. So you can save a lot of cost on your packaging material by using ultrasonic. Similarly, a lot of other things when you have liquid material and you want to zip pouches. For example, if you have seen similar like Hershey's liquid like chocolate syrups and any other, if you see packages that contains liquid. So this is a transparent package that has liquid inside it and it has been ultrasonically sealed. So all these things can be done using ultrasonically. Similarly, you can do gel material sealing over this or maybe liquid materials. And a lot of as the rainy season would be coming, a lot of tarpaulin market would be gaining up again. So in the tarpaulin market, the eyelets of all these machines basically are again used, sealed and cut and sealed basically using ultrasonic. So if you see this the famous silpoline and everything, so these are all done using ultrasonic. So all these materials are now and then used in the packaging industry only. So I would say this was a small things about where ultrasonic is used and how it is used. It's actually a very deep subject, I would say. So when we have to confirm any application for ultrasonic, the best way is actually we take trials. For example, if you have any kind of product, you say, okay, I have this thing. I'm not sure whether it can be done using ultrasonic or not. So what we recommend is you take this product, you come over to us, or maybe you come over to go over to anyone else, you take trials. Basically that's the best solution, because if you see over the internet you will get a lot of charts where you can see what is the compatibility. For example, ABS is compatible welding with PP, or maybe PPGF is compatible with welding with HIPS. So these are all theoretical values, but when actual, because a lot of family of polymer, it's a very wide plastic is a very wide family of different polymers. So we recommend you take trials and then you can finalize the solution. And it's not just simple, because if you have two things, you can join them by ultrasonic basically. So once you're joining them by ultrasonic, you obviously need to make some slight mold modification. Like if you see, this is a paint bottle cap wherein there's a lid for pouring it in between. So if you closely see, there are some flash lines or energy lines on top of this product which you need to integrate. So once you're designing the mold, there are certain precautions you have to take for making it using ultrasonic, so that after welding, you don't see any kind of flashes that come into picture. So all this design recommendation is definitely given by us. We do give guide you from, we handhold you from the initial stage, from designing of your molds, what precautions you need to take in the designing part with respect to the ultrasonic, and then what kind of energy, what kind of force is required, what kind of powers, because the machines are, there are 20 types of welding machines. So what exactly is needed by the customer, it's basically once trials are taken and testing is done, the customer gets a clear picture. So this is just a small gist of basically what ultrasonic machines are and what kind of packaging they're used in. So for detailed information, definitely you can visit our stall, and it's in hall 5, screen 5, and we can discuss in further details. So I guess Mr. Kishore and Shiraz, if there are any specific questions the audience has.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deepak Ji. You have shown us a lot of potential and the strength of this technology, which the industry can take advantage of. And it was really wonderful listening to you. I put the floor open for any questions from the audience. Yes, I have received one question from Mr. Ray from Calcutta. His question is, how cost competitive are ultrasonic machines?
Okay. So basically, ultrasonic machines, if you compare them with heat, they are on a costlier end. I would say they are 2 to 3 times the cost of heat machines. So they are costlier. But the initial cost is high. But if you see the rejection rate, because you don't have any rejections if you're going with ultrasonic, they are minutely controlled. So you can control the plastics in basically sizes in microns. So the rejection rate and the overall quality what you get, ultimately it becomes to be cheaper, I would say.
Wonderful. I hope, Mr. Ray, your query is satisfactorily replied. Any more questions? I've got a question from Mr. Ibrahim. His question is there any way to determine whether an application can be done using ultrasonic or any other method?
Okay, so talking about the ultrasonic in this case, like if you have to determine if this application is feasible or not, because many a times the applications are not feasible due to maybe the sizes or different things. So what we recommend you, Mr. Ibrahim, that like if you have any application in mind or if anyone has any application in mind, okay, can we do this kind of an application or not? So what we suggest you give the trials. Being the manufacturers in India, we have the flexibility of free trials that our company is providing. So if any company is having any product in mind, any R&D product or any ongoing product where they want to save their cost and they want to improve the quality, you can send the parts to us. We request some data. We take the data of the material, what testing criteria is there. We conduct free trials. We show the entire video to you and with the machine suggestion that this kind of a machine is required for your product. So then you can be sure, because theoretically you can find it over the internet. A lot of table is there, like which material is compatible with what. But actual trials is a mandate, I would say, going with the ultrasonic.
Thank you.
Yes, Kishore sir. Any other questions?
We have one question coming from Mr. Kazi from Africa. He wishes to know
Okay.
that what are the maintenance required and the running maintenance cost or any specialized technician would he require to run and set up this machine?
Okay, so Mr. Kazi, I would like to say that once you're using this ultrasonic machines, there is no maintenance cost, there is no consumable cost, there is no specific wear and tear in the machines. There is just a horn that is a sonotrode that is to be replaced over 6 months or a year based on the application. That is again in just few thousands, so it's not a big cost. But there is the main thing is if you're using like a gluing technology where there is a consumable per part, so in ultrasonic, there is no maintenance, no consumables, and yes, you don't need any specific technology for this. Like whenever you take the ultrasonic equipment from us, or so we train the operator. We have a dedicated training session wherein the how to use the machine, how to maintain the machine, everything is taken care of, and ultimately the people can use ultrasonic machines very openly, like there is no problem in using such machine. For example, if you see any kind of BOPP machines supplied by the prestigious Mamta machinery, so all this machinery which are supplied are having ultrasonic attachment. We supply attachments to companies like Mamta machinery and they supply it over to their customers. So for example, if any other customer is having problems directly, we get it directly to the end user also. We explain it to them and it's a very simple thing not to be worried about, I would say.
Thank you very much, Deepak ji. I would like to assure Mr. Kazi that he can very well venture for this. And Deepak ji is a very nice person. I know him since many years, and he is more than helpful. He will go out of his way to set things right for you and help you out in running the machine. We have a question from Mr. S. Swaminathan. What is the sealing strength and test? So basically,
Okay.
he wants to know the
So,
strength
sir,
of the sealing or
yeah.
the welding.
Okay. So strength basically it can be done as per the requirement. You can get as much strength as you want. Like if you take any ceiling, the strength of the ceiling depends upon 2, 3 major factors. The one major factor is the thickness of the material you have used, Mr. Swaminathan. So if you have a very thin or very thin material, in that case, the strength will be definitely less. So for example, if you require little more strength, so what we do, we increase the welding area. So the strength will actually not depend upon your ultrasonic. It would depend upon the factors such as your tube quality. So the strength you are getting over here in the tube and the strength you will be getting on the top of the tube will the welding strength would definitely be more than the actual strength of the tube you get. And as I earlier said that we once we take trials, so what we do is once we are collecting the samples, we have a data sheet. So Mr. Swaminathan, like we do have offices all across India. So like, for example, if you're from South India and you have any requirement, like if you get in touch with the South office, so they will send you a data sheet. They will ask you how much strength you require. So based on the strength you require, we'll be designing the ceiling size, the horn, the anvil, everything will be designed as per the requirement. So it's not it's not specific. It's basically a customized thing, I would say.
Thank you very much, Deepak ji. Mr. S. Swaminathan has a second question also. Which
Yes.
horn is economical and best for USW?
Pardon me, sir. Which?
Horn is best. Which horn is economical and best for USW?
So which horn basically, I would say horns are majorly made of three types of, there are three types of horn, I would say, in this. Ones are the made of aluminum alloy composition, another is made of that titanium alloy composition, and another is made of steel alloy composition. So generally, in tube sealing application, again, I would say we have given different kind of horns in different application. For example, in the sealing application of hand sanitizers, the titanium horn was used. In sealing of some pharma tubes, wherein the creams are there, many times aluminum horns were used. Wherein you were sealing tubes like Borolin tubes, if you remember the old green color. So in that we were using steel composition horns. So ultimately, it's again, I would say, vast variety and a customized solution. So when it comes to horns, once if you have any specific requirement, we check it with that type of horn, or otherwise we suggest based on the application what horn would run more on this kind of a product, because every horn has different properties for different type of lami tubes. So based on your tube and your thickness and your production speed, like how long, so accordingly we'll be suggesting you that type of the horns.
I am sure Mr. Swaminathan would be satisfied and happy with the answers. But with the quality of questions coming, I am very sure that the topic and the solutions that Deepak ji you are giving is very engaging, and the audience is very much focused and interested in the subject. There is a next question which is coming from Mr. Raghavendra Pawar. What is the market size of this technology currently, and where
Okay.
it will go?
Okay. So Raghavendra ji, I would say the market size, it's huge actually. If you see, it's not limited to some segment or a sector. If you say ultrasonic welding, the market share, it's present everywhere. If you see right from your tube sealing to agricultural packaging to food packaging. So everywhere ultrasonic is used. Many times people don't know where ultrasonic is used and why, because it's ultrasonic is a specialized thing which is integrated in the machine. Like for example, we are not manufacturing BOPP machines, we are not making pouch sealing machines, so we are supplying only ultrasonic. So many a times people use automatic machines. For example, if you see the mask market, so everywhere in the mask, for the sealing of mask, for the ear loops, nose strip, everything is well using ultrasonic. Lot of people who are in the market also don't know that they are using ultrasonic because it's a part of the big machine that they are using. So I would say if you have any, if you can let us know what sector, if you can connect with us and let us know, you want to know the market size and which segment exactly. Like in automobile, if you see the entire automobile, the car interiors, right from your dashboard to your sunroof to your bumper, your front, your sensors, everything is welded in the car using ultrasonic. So once it comes to automobile, it's majorly using ultrasonic. Once it comes to packaging, your zipper packaging, BOPP, everything is done using ultrasonic. If you go to any plastic joining processes, bottles, tiffin boxes, any kind of cutlery, casseroles, everything that again is done using ultrasonic. So if you have a specific segment, there's a lot to dig in, actually, I would say.
Thank you very much, Deepak ji. I request Raghavendra Pawar ji to visit the booth of Mr. Deepak Gumbar uh, of Roop Ultrasonics Limited, hall number 1, screen 5. Am I correct, Deepak ji?
Correct, Kishore sir.
You
It's
can
hall 1,
witness,
screen 5.
yeah, you can witness all the applications, and depending on your strength, you can select whichever you want. There is one more question coming from Miss Pooja. She is in R&D department, and she wants to know that whether this technology is useful or has a scope in compostable items like PLA, PBT, where with heat sinking there is a lot of problem. So if there is any scope, or because it melts at low temperature, how do you look at it, sir?
Hmm. Okay, so I would say, irrespective of the product type, if it can be done using heat, practically, if you're joining it, it's the material outcome, the product is not important. The input material is very critical. For example, if you're using for your product, you're using any kind of polymer, for example, say ABS or a PC or a PP. So what happens that sometimes the plastics you choose are having low temperatures or high temperatures. So it happens, like for example, if you have one material that is having low melting temperature and one material that is having high melting temperature. For example, if you take the case of ABS with HIPS, polystyrene and ABS basically. So polystyrene is weldable with polystyrene, it's a very good strength, and ABS welding with ABS is very good strength. But if you're using ABS to be joining with polystyrene, and in such cases the welding outcome is not very nice. So once, as I said, once we take trials, once we get the parts, we take trials and see, okay, how it can be improved. If you're having flashes, as you said, if you're having problem with heat, so that flashes can be recommended by inserting a energy line inside the mold. We do guide you with the design of that as well. And in cases wherein you say that, okay, what should we ultimately, if you want a solution, then how can it be done? So in that cases, we might ask you to change one component material or maybe both component material. We suggest you. It's like some cases in that toy industry where people are using ABS and polystyrene. So now ABS, as everyone knew, the market prices shooted up to 3 times or 4 times in the prices. So companies came up with us that, okay, I want to weld this toy, but ABS is very costly. I want a good weldability material. So we suggested to them HIPS, which has good weldability with HIPS. It looks as similar to ABS, and the company could save a lot on their cost in the toy part. So similarly, once you have a very specific part, the design, once you share details with us, we can give you a very cost competitive idea how you can make this thing work. So basically, our main aim is to give you a solution to make your product run work.
Absolutely
I hope, Ms.
wonderful.
Pooja, if you have more question on this, you can definitely connect with us, and we'll take you further.
Pooja madam has just put a question that have you done anything on PLA or PBT? Have you done anything or any work on that? Till
Yes,
date?
we have done a lot. We have done a lot of applications actually.
Sure.
So more details I can share with you personally, because it's, see, the company is into the ultrasonic industry since 40 years. And in fact, we are the only Indian company who's manufacturing ultrasonic equipment in India. So once you have all this, we have a lab in Gandhinagar wherein you can see almost 300 to 400 type of applications put in a showcase. So if interested, Miss Pooja, you can visit our factory. You can have a look at what all kind of applications, similar applications we have done. So it's not
Absolutely,
that any application we have not done it. Yeah, basically a big umbrella. So
absolutely wonderful that we are having a 40 years of experience sharing in 40 minutes. I think the audience and we all are very fortunate to have you on this platform, sir. Any more questions coming up? There is one question coming from Mr. Maulik. He says, is there any way to determine whether an application can be done using an ultrasonic or if the product has been done through ultrasonic? Can can it be identified by look?
Yes. For example, I would say in the case of cream, like you want to know if the product is done welded using ultrasonic or heat. So for example, I would say you take any
Yes,
tube,
yes.
you can cut the crimping on top of it. If you have any tubes in that, you cut the tube and you see the wall thickness. Inside the wall, if a lot of material is hardened and stuck over to the side of the tubes, it's done using heat, because when you're using heat, the cream get little hardened at the boundary and it gets stuck. So ultimately for the company, it's no difference. But when the quality is concerned, when you take the outcome, when you get the tube out of it, ultimately a lot of material is kept inside. So in this way, you can determine it is done using ultrasonic or not. Another for different kind of caps, if you see, if these are welded properly, and like if you have any flashes, like if you have any flashes coming up where the material has been spread in the joining area, in that cases you can come, it's done by heat. Because when you're doing with ultrasonic, there is no aesthetical deformation in the exteriors of the part. There could be exterior deformations in the interior if the design couldn't be if the design has to be that way, or the design couldn't be changed. So there are cases where there could be internal flash, but external flashes is not there when you're doing with ultrasonic. So whenever you see product with have plastic come out from the interior about it, you can come to know it's okay, this is a uh, not a quality product. And specifically if you see the export market, I would say the export market, when you're exporting products, many companies have the condition that you cannot heat seal it, because over the period of time it gets little hardened, so a lot of quality issues come up with. So majorly our customers are the ones who are exporting their material to different countries. Like Indian market, okay, due to the cost conscious scenario, heat seal can work. But when it comes to export products, obviously there has to be very high quality. You can't have the scope of rejection a lot over there. So in such cases, you have ultrasonic welding.
Thank you very much. There is a question coming from Mr. Parmar. He is a product development officer in a listed company. He just put a question that does this, as you have shown in the video film, that for medical, for fill and seal applications, this is used. So, does this ultrasonic perform with seal through contamination feature?
Yes. So basically, seal through contamination, yes, it can be done. And what happens is, like when you're using heat or any other technology, when you're using just punch or something, you do get contamination. I hope I'm answering your question correct. So basically, what Kishorji, he wants to know whether the contamination will occur in this or not, right?
No, what
Is that
he
the
is trying, no, what he is
yeah?
trying to say is, supposing in a pouch, he is
Hmm.
filling some dry powder or a
Okay.
chemical, and on
Okay.
the sealing line, if there is
Hmm.
some particles which are there while
Hmm.
filling, so does that
Okay.
sealing line pass and
Hmm.
is effective, even if there are a bit of powder or which is there
Yes,
coming
yes,
in
yes,
between the sealing
definitely.
area?
Yeah,
That is what he's trying to ask. Seal through
yes, yes. For
contamination.
example, if you're sealing, because lot of time what happens when you're sealing a pouch, this is for example having gel liquid. If you have something that just spills over, little of it is there.
Perfect.
Generally, if you're
That's what he's
having a
asking.
very yeah, so generally if you're having a mass production and a controlled environment over there, this doesn't happen. But in cases if it's happening, yes, sealing will be there. But what happens between the sealing, little contamination will be there. It will somehow, in that case, is what we recommend, that you increase the sealing width, because even if the contamination is little in between, it wouldn't affect your sealing. But for example, if you're having something sealing like a tea bag pouch, where the inside particle size is more and the sealing area is less than that, in such cases you cannot use ultrasonic sealing, because if you see, the sealing width is hardly 1 mm or even less than 1 mm. If you see the tea pouches, if you can take any green tea pouch and see that the inside is sealed, so it's very fine sealing. So if you have that flexibility with the sealing width, you can definitely have flexibility of little contamination going into the sealing. So that can be taken care. And sealing width can be as much as you want, like 5 mm, 10 mm, 15 mm. It can go up in 20, 30 mm as per your application. Basically, there's no limitation. We can have custom solution to seal as much as border as you want.
Absolutely wonderful. Any more questions in the house? I think the audience is very much technical and very much focused and coming up with specific solutions at your desk. And I'm sure that after this seminar, there will be a huge rush of technocrats and entrepreneurs coming to you for with their specific objectives. So, any more questions?
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you very much, Deepak ji. If you could just give a brief introduction about and infrastructure about your company for the
Okay.
delegates to register in their mind, it would be great. Then we would go for vote of thanks, sir.
Oh, okay. So basically, talking about a company, Roop Ultrasonic is a 40-year-old company. We do have three factories. One of the factories is in Mumbai, where we are manufacturing a lot of NDT equipments, pulse velocity meters, thickness gauge that's used in the manufacturing cement industry and the steel industry. So that Mumbai factory caters to that. And we have two factories in Gandhinagar, wherein one is a domestic factory where we are serving the Indian market over there. We are manufacturing welding equipments, we are manufacturing cleaning equipments, sonochemistry, like where in the pharma you have powders. All the powder is sieved using ultrasonic. A lot of clientele is major pharma customers. So that is taken care of. And we do have a dedicated SEZ factory wherein we are exporting to a lot of the countries. So we do have our own offices in US, Germany, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam. And in India, we do have offices in Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi, Pune, Hyderabad, Calcutta. So all these offices are having sales and service support. So wherever you are in India, we guarantee the service uptime. Basically, to the concept to have offices in all this location is to have uptime of around 24 hours of any kind of machines. So basically, wherever, whichever part of India you are, you can contact any of your nearby regional offices. And if you're in, we do have around our distributors in more than 40 countries. So you can just reach out to us in the website. It's rtolgroup.com, and you can just connect with our export team or the domestic sales team. And even at the booth, like if you come to Hall 1 and Screen 5, you can just have a video chat with one of our sales engineer, and they will be pleased to guide you further for your dedicated requirements.
Absolutely wonderful. In fact, there is a suggestion which has come from Mr. Kamaljeet Arora. Mr. Kamaljeet Arora has suggested that as you have shown the video clip, if you would have also shown the video clip of your Gandhinagar showcase, where you have done all the innovative products, it would have made his day. So definitely we look forward for a visit
Definitely.
for a virtual tour, because he's very much
Definitely.
requested me to request you that if you could arrange a virtual or physical tour, it would be great. And if it was shown here, it would have
Sir,
been
I
very
would
happy, sir. Mr. Arora, it has become
definitely.
very
Actually,
much,
sir,
yes, sir,
yeah, I would say
of our
thanks, Mr.
innovation
Arora,
center.
firstly, for having this kind of faith in us. Actually, we do provide physical visits. You are most welcome to visit our factory, wherein you can see what kind of things are possible in that. We have a dedicated application lab. We have more than like 7 to 8 engineers who are just taking trials every day, because we get almost 30 to 40 samples a day all across India and other countries. So there's a team that takes only trials. Over there, you can see there's a special showcase wherein you can see what all things can be done using ultrasonic. Obviously, due to some confidentiality reasons, we do not disclose all this information over the virtual world. But yes, in presence, if you want to visit us, you're most welcome to visit our factory, seeing the COVID norms, obviously. But yes, once you come over, we can take you to the tour inside our factory, how the ultrasonic machines are. You can see trials. You can maybe bring one of your product and see trials on your product. So all that flexibility, yes, definitely will be there. And yes, some of our videos of our factory and the setup is there on our YouTube channel. The link and everything is in our stall. You can go there. You can see you may have a look at the kind of SPMs we are building. It's not just the small plastic welding machines. We are making dedicated big SPMs for cleaning, for welding. So all those kind of machines, the usage and everything is shown in the videos in YouTube channel, basically.
Absolutely wonderful.
So this seminar
So,
basically was just a small introductory. So we couldn't,
trailer.
yeah, it was just a trailer. So because it was focused on the packaging industry, we showed you products only to the packaging, but there's a lot in the toy industry specifically. So once we upcoming, there's a toy exhibition where we'll be having toy related things. There's automobile related exhibitions, we do have automobile related products. So once you connect with us, we'll show you all varieties of applications and
Wonderful.
how it can help you out.
So Arora ji, whenever you are visiting, let me know. I also would love to see the innovation laboratory for Deepak ji for
Most
academic
welcome, Kishore
purpose.
ji. Most welcome.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Definitely, Kishore ji.
And definitely, I'm sure many of us will engage with you. If there are any more questions or we conclude, I just give 30 seconds if anybody wants to ask a question. Okay, so all the audience have really appreciated Deepak ji, the contents that you have shared, and they have thanked you and your company for giving this knowledge. Now I request my VP East, Vice President East Zone EPMA, Mr. Ashok Agarwal ji, a very, very dynamic leader in the Eastern Zone and leads the plastic industry uh, uh, and our association activities and has taken up many ventures. In fact, Deepak ji, I would just like to inform you that our Ashok
Yes, sir.
Agarwal ji is the first Vice President of across India in the East Zone. He has set up a consultants clinic where he is getting all the professionals on the board and the members can take advantage of engaging with them. So he has taken the pains to identify, have tie-up with all the consultants, and members are taking a benefit of it. And in fact, we are all other regional vice presidents are trying to replicate and learn from him how it has all been done. So he does all
That's
the
really great to hear.
fantastic initiatives of bringing all the professionals and knowledge to all the members' advantage. So of course, he's a silent worker, but I know how much of work he is doing. So we appreciate your efforts, Ashok ji, all yours, for a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Kishore ji, for such wonderful words. On behalf of EPMA, it's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. My heart fills with a lot of gratitude and respect for our distinguished expert panelists for not only sparing their precious time, but also for enlightening us with their commendable talk on the subject. I thank Mr. Kishore Sampath, our Senior Vice President, for clearing our concepts and enhancing our understanding pertaining to today's subject. We are grateful for your valuable support. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to Mr. Deepak Gumbar, who's put in efforts and time in helping us enrich our knowledge on the subject. We are really obliged to have you with us today. Thank you so much.
Before we conclude,
Thank you very much.
Deepak ji, before you leave, there is one delegate we has put up question, and I think we should oblige him, although the vote of thanks is
Yes,
given.
sir.
Mr. Adar Agarwal,
No worries, sir.
He has just put a question. He wanted your guidance on plastic mulching and polyhouse used in agro textiles. If you'd like to have a word on it, sir.
Can you repeat the question, sir, once again?
He wanted your guidance on plastic mulching and polyhouse used in agro textiles. So is there a role of ultrasonic in this plastic mulching or polyhouse or those applications?
Sir, actually, we need to dip in little deep into that to see what exactly he wants to use. See, ultrasonic can be used only for sealing purpose. Basically, once we are talking about the welding, it can be used for joining any two products. Basically, it could be exactly, if you can share little more details, Mr. Adar, right?
Mr. Adar Agarwal.
Adar Agarwal. So, Mr. Agarwal, I would request, like, if you have specific requirement, you can definitely send us the samples and the material details in detail, how you want it to be done. And we can take trials and we can let you know if this can be done or not.
Mr. Adar Agarwal,
it's actually...
You can visit hall number 1, screen 5, where they have got their stall. And I'm sure one-to-one solutions can be given. Would that be all right?
Definitely.
A personal hearing could be given there.
Yes.
So anyway, thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely. Because actually, Kishore, it's very subjective.
I understand that, sir. And you are a specialist, so you will give a very specific advice. No problem, sir.
No, because what happens, a lot of people come to us and ask, okay, can this be done? Can this be done? We have done something similar. So we cannot say no to anything and we cannot say yes to anything. It's a
Perfect,
very,
sir.
obviously there are some proven application which we can say immediately yes, but we recommend trials to have a proper systematic approach to a solution basically.
Absolutely wonderful. And respecting the vote of thanks given by my Ashok Agarwal, the Vice President T-Zone, I would like to end the session here. Thank you very much from the bottom of our heart. I'm sure association with Roop Ultrasonic Limited and EPMA will go a long way. Thanks a lot, sir. With this, I conclude.
Thank you very much, sir. And thank you to the
Thanks a lot.
jury for organizing
Thanks a lot.
this. Thank you,
Thanks a lot,
everyone.
sir.